Fresh, or should I say not fresh, defeated from Vegas.
I got murdered.
How was your transfer rumours in Vegas? Did you transfer a lot of funds?
I transferred a lot of funds from the ATM to the roulette table to not my pocket.
Well, there is some rumours going on, of course, here on TYT Sports. Love to give you nothing but the truest rumours. And the first one is Balotelli to Celtic. I'm not joking. It was
Is that serious?
No. I wish it was.
You said I'm not joking.
No, I'm joking, I meant to say. I wish it was serious because it's a sad day, but deluded Brendan guided us to our first horrific loss. And we could do with Balotelli.
It's okay. You miss all the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
We took a shot and we missed. So there is, there's numerous transfers going around, and of course the usual suspects are ahead of the list on everyone else. Cesc Fabregas is our first one. Interesting talking point though, which we will get into. It seems like Manchester United, as usual in every transfer window, signed Wesley Sneijder for the last 12 years running, even though he's never played for Manchester United, still plays at Galatasaray. Karim Benzema has signed for numerous teams every transfer window,
that's true,
but still stays with Real Madrid. So you got to take everything with a large pinch of salt, a large enough pinch that you may end up with a coronary heart disease.
There's a few of them that I find more interesting than others. Like at least the names I came across today is Sky Sports Transfer Center rumor mill. I found to be a little more exciting than others. But you mentioned Fabregas, and I feel a quick tidbit on Cesc Fabregas is what Fabregas are you getting? Are you getting Chelsea's Premier League winning 98%? It wasn't 98%, but like 90% passing conversion, accuracy, and just dominating in the midfield. And are you getting that? Or are you getting a Fabregas that was similar to 2010 Spain?
Yeah.
Or are you getting those in between year Fabregas? Sometimes a little bit of health problems.
Yeah, I think that's it's a great point to put across. And then the other thing they have to take into consideration is Jose Mourinho was a huge reason why that Fabregas emerged once again for Chelsea. Yeah, he went through a tough time at Barcelona, and it is a very tough thing to come in to Barcelona and try to take place of Andres Iniesta or fill in that role. It's an impossible thing to say the least. But Cesc didn't have the best season last year. He led the league in assists the previous year. I actually said he was the best midfielder in the Premier League that season. And I think that it's an interesting move. It's something that Manchester United could add. Do I think it would make more sense than a £100 million signing of Paul Pogba?
Yes.
Financially, yes.
Well, but that's not the only person they can sign, but I'll get to that later. Sorry.
I mean, there's another person that's on their, I would say, their radar. N'Golo Kante.
Well, okay, that's one of them.
N'Golo Kante is on their radar, but he's also on Chelsea's radar. So that is the other transfer that leads to this. They all kind of intertwine in a way because if Fabregas leaves, then Kante might come in, even though he's not the same position.
Do you think this is a domino effect? Like if or when Fabregas signs, that will move the domino over to hit the Kanté domino, to hit maybe the Higuain domino, or at least Premier League signings?
Well, the thing is, you got to take into consideration the managers, right? So for some reason, Michael Carrick signed another contract, and I'm not saying that to disrespect Michael Carrick. I just think that his time is up at Manchester United. I don't see him filling in a role anymore. I see Jose Mourinho making room for one type of player like Carrick, a player who's aged but can still contribute. And I thought that would be Schweinsteiger, who proved once again that he can compete at the top level in the Euros. He was great against France. I thought he had a great game. And Jose Mourinho can utilise that. Even with the Fabregas in there, he can find space for them to play. But then with Carrick, it just seems like it's redundant for me. However, Fabregas also fits well into an Antonio Conte system. Antonio Conte, one of his most successful teams, was getting the best out of Andrea Pirlo when everyone thought Pirlo was past his prime.
That's a good point.
And that's a very similar player to what you see with Fabregas, especially with Chelsea. If he partners, if he gets Matic back to the way that he was before, maybe with an N'Golo Kante and a Cesc Fabregas in there, that could be a very dominant trio in the midfield. But it's all about whether Antonio Conte would rather go and get a Nainggolan, the Belgian international.
That's interesting too. So for one, Antonio Conte is absolutely running a 3-5-1 in the Premier League.
A 3-5-2.
I'm sorry, 3-5-2 with 3 in the back, 5.
That's what you see. He runs it with Italy, and it's somewhat successful.
It's somewhat successful. It was successful with his club teams in the past too.
Yeah.
I find that to be one of the most interesting things going into the Premier League next year. I just wanted to point that out. But so on top of that, so Kanté and Kanté, do you think that's the right pairing for N'Golo Kante, or do you think he should stay at Leicester, or is he definitely gone? Because at some point, these guys got to sign somewhere because the season literally starts in a month from today, August 13th.
Yeah, it comes around so fast.
So they got to train with these guys, and they have to start fitting into their systems. Like, it's not like there's a lot of time for Kanté to sign, Fabregas to sign.
And you'll see that, especially after a major tournament, some of these signings will usually happen either directly after the Euros or right before the season. There's usually this limbo period, which is just all about rumours, and it frustrates me because everyone, as I just mentioned, everyone signs everyone. Benzema's been on the move for about 15 years straight since he first started playing football. Wesley Sneijder is the other example, but I think N'Golo Kante is going to move. And I don't want it to happen. I think that he had a good enough tournament to reiterate to everyone that he is a top quality player and he can fit into that system. You don't need to. He doesn't need to prove shit to anyone in the Premier League. He just won the Premier League. Chelsea could utilise someone like him. Antonio Conte could use someone like him, someone like a Marquisio who pushes the tempo. But the thing with Kante is he needs to be groomed to be more positionally sensible and stick around in his area.
Doable.
I think that's Antonio Conte is very good at grooming people.
Okay.
He's Italian. It's in the system. They're just naturally groomed. So he could have Kante fill that role maybe, but I don't see him fitting as well with Matic. It's interesting because no matter if you've got a team that's fully set out to be the best midfield in the world, if someone offers you Kante, you're going to take him because even if there's a dying minutes of the game, 60, 70 minutes, and you need someone to come in and nullify their opponent and close down space and suffocate other players, that's one of the best players in the world to do so. Is he's going to work around in that certain area. But we need to move over. Get another point to talk about. Again, another player who's always on the move is Benzema. But the reason why is this year it has a little bit more substance. Because Morata is back at Real Madrid.
Right.
So there was rumours flying around that Morata came back so that Real Madrid can make some money from him and sell him on to a Chelsea or an Arsenal or those teams. But again, Benzema has said that he may be going elsewhere. And it's not the Premier League this time, I don't understand why Benzema would go to the Premier League. I don't think he fits into that system well. But Juventus is the team that's circling the pond, and that, I think, would be a very intriguing fit.
That's what I noticed that. I actually thought that was like, when I see the Benzema rumors, I actually thought maybe a team like Arsenal, just because they need a goal scorer that's consistent, and I think Benzema could be that guy. I thought he could have been that guy last year. Now I think it's, and why I can't believe him, Higuain should be going there. It's that I don't get why they're not throwing all the money at him. If you're going to throw £100 million for Paul Pogba, throw $100 million at Higuain too. If you have the money and you need to sign the guy, then do it. Even though they're not worth, Higuain's not going to sign for that much, and Pogba's probably not worth that much until he goes and proves the world wrong.
Exactly,
Francis.
I agree. You take the word.
Until he comes out and he just bangs in 30 goals, 60 assists, and it's the greatest Premier League campaign you've ever seen in your entire life.
And even then, you're still not worth 100
And then you're still going like, hey, it's like a £75 million player right there.
Is he worth a country? Is he worth solving world hunger forever?
He's not. I think people don't realize that it's. I thought you made great points about this on the Football Republic. To be worth that much, like you have to be Messi, Ronaldo, maybe like Manuel Neuer, like somebody who's. Even now, like I'd say Messi, Ronaldo 2 years ago worth £100 million. But the difference between someone like a Messi and a Ronaldo as compared to a Pogba is Messi and Ronaldo could be worth £100 million or £200 million, but they're going to bring in £1 billion in revenue, in merchandise, in that kind of transfer because they're such powerhouse talents.
Yeah.
Pogba is very unproven, and I thought our comment section did an amazing job because they beat me to it. I was reading through the comments and someone said, like, I don't watch too much world football. Like, I get an NBA comparison. Like, 6 people said Anthony Davis. And I was like, that is spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah. And it's a very large gamble. And the thing is, I'm never making excuses to reiterate the point, that people will pay this. But the point is that teams are stupid enough to pay it.
Just because they can.
Just because they can.
It
It doesn't mean it's worth it. Like, I tried to stress as much as I could the term worth. Like, I understand that if you need something, you're going to pay a ridiculous amount or more money to get it, and teams will drive that.
But a record-breaking fee for a somewhat unproven but has shown flashes of brilliance. That's what you're pretty much signing is every so often you see Pogba's size, his speed, his athleticism, his possession control is unbelievable. And you know what argument I can't stand is but Paul Pogba at any one time could change the entire tempo of a game. It's an 11-man game.
Yeah.
And it's that one player. If you're breaking the bank for one player and it affects that you could have signed 3 others to get that kind of output, might not make it worth that much.
I agree.
Pogba can come out and prove everybody wrong. And even if he does go on and be Premier League Player of the Year, does it still justify £100 million? Look at the past Premier League Player of the Year. He wasn't a £100 million player. Riyad Mahrez was.
No, he was nowhere near
Hazard
that.
2 years ago when he was relevant and not on the milk carton. Even like during if you go back in time too, I'm sure none of those guys were £100 million players.
It's a very special. It's a price tag that has got everyone talking. Like Emmanuel Petit, who is a legend at Arsenal, is like, he's not worth that. Like he's a French.
You make
he's
the point.
French.
Xavi Alonso signed for what?
$8 million.
$18.37. It's just
not a bad signing.
Unbelievable bargain.
So
sorry, we digress.
No, I don't care if we digress. I've been waiting to digress, especially on Paul Pogba. But there is that term that if Benzema went to Juventus, it's a good fit. It's a player that could potentially follow suit of that of Dani Alves, who's already went to Juventus.
I like Dani Alves
That's a
too,
great signing for them because Juventus' system will allow for Dani Alves to play as an attacking wide man rather than defending like he has to do at Barcelona at times because they play the three at the back, Chiellini, Barzagli and Bonucci. You're basically just giving Dani Alves a license to be what he wants to be. He is now a free bird.
Is this
Go run up and down the line.
Same back three plus
They've
Gigi
been there for
Buffon?
50
Gigi
years.
Buffon, who's staying around for the next
Stays
World Cup, he
around for
said.
2018.
He's going to be 41 years old, I think.
That's got to be it.
Legend.
Sirigu, who is a great goalkeeper, is probably sitting there like,
I've been
"Fucking
waiting
hell,
15
fucking hell, Gigi, you're going to call this quits anytime soon? I've been waiting for my chance. It's unreal. It's almost like De Gea was like that with Casillas for a while.
Right.
Casillas is like, but Casillas isn't even that old, but he played since he was like 18. So it seems like he's been around
I
forever.
hope Gigi plays till he's 50.
I would love to see that. But there's your transfer rumours at the moment. Let's rank them in terms of what we think could happen, right? Pogba to Manchester United is very real. A lot of people have discussed that, so there's no point
But
in
it doesn't seem like
reiterating it.
Pogba wants to go to Manchester.
We don't even know what the deal is at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if Pogba's sitting there like, Real Madrid going to make an offer anytime soon? Because if they do, then I would rather go there. But it seems like Man United are the only ones that want to meet that.
I want him to stay at Juve.
I already gave them another year more than I thought he would.
I know, but he seems like a good guy.
Seems like a good guy.
Number 2, Kanté.
Kanté to Chelsea, very real.
Fabregas.
Surprisingly real.
Higuain.
No.
Benzema.
More of a chance than last year, but still iffy.
Balotelli to Celtic.
Hopefully very real. Here's in the comments. Francis_Maxwell. Twitter, JasonRubin91. Twitter. It was very fast, very firm. Just how I like it.